All right. Hello, hello, hello. This is Ross Fertel. I am Faithful Reader on the forums, and I am here with a worldly interview with Kris Sonsteby. Kris, how are you today?
Good morning, Ross. I'm doing good.
Good. All right. So we're here to talk about your worldly experience. So without further ado, let's get into your first deck, which is a Vidian deck. What made you choose to play Vidians
Well, that's not my
Worlds?
first deck. That's day one deck. That I thought
Oh,
you were
yeah.
started WCT. The WCT was the Friday.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna go. We can go over some other decks, but
Oh, okay.
I'm mainly here to go over your day one and day two.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
My
Yeah.
my unpaid intern should have told you about that in the intro letter.
Yeah, they're fired, obviously.
Yes.
Well, we talked about this deck when I played it at Online Nationals. Or what Online Masters? What the hell was it? Yeah, online
Yeah.
something back in November. I had played it there and done fairly well. Really felt like the gender drain stuff was very strong, and kind of learned from that experience. That's why you see Change of Heart there on the screen. I put both of those interrupts that nullify rules of obedience and misinterpret history in my queues tent. Caused a little bit of pain because I had to drop my copy of Home Away from Home, which meant I couldn't report to the Alpha Quadrant, which in a couple of games I definitely wished I could have. But comically enough, Change of Heart was the last card that went in, and I think I played it in three of my five games.
I played it three times to
I think
nullified
so.
rules of obedience.
Yeah, at least twice. I know for a fact twice.
Cool. So the other times, do you just do it for the reselection?
Oh no, it's only in there to knock that dilemma out. With the VDNs, you're going as fast as your opponent is, and usually this deck is drawing a fair amount. Even if they're not giving you plays, it draws quite a bit. And as I think we touched on before, if I can, first turn I Q sent for Red Alert, play Red Alert, and second turn I dump, um, five people, and then I get my free play on top of it. So this deck plays different from most people with the DNs. I pull the ship back that I get out from Organ Bank. The Organ Bank comes into play from Search for Spares. I know I'm talking really fast, but I
Oh, go
always pull
ahead.
it. I pull it right back into the Delta Quadrant on my first turn. I go through the Barzine wormhole. I put it right next to my outpost because I'm going to try to attempt with a brick on like turn two. Ideally, it's going to be 9, 10 people. And that's what Flagship Recovered is for. It protects me from anything bad. You know, if people, love to give away missions by doing some type of wall filter into V'ger or whatever, fine, who cares? Blow it up. I haven't seen a computer crash in a long time, and I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, I noticed both your world stacks had Federation flagship recovered. Did those come into play, or were they just there for the insurance policy?
Neither day they were in they came into play, but they certainly can be. I've played games with the Fed deck where they blow up the future Enterprise and then they're shocked to see it turn into a USS Enterprise and then another future Enterprise. And sometimes I get the Galaxy and suddenly they're like, oh shit. So now I get to counterattack with three ships on my turn if they shot me.
Yeah, just sit there and say, "Make my day."
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that can happen to either deck is hitting the cloud because the cloud will damage you and stop you for a full turn, but it doesn't blow you up, so you don't get the reset. So now you're limping around on this damaged ship and you're also on timeout for a turn, which sucks.
Yeah, and you brought up organ theft. Just wondering, did you have any notable victims in your games?
Against Justin, he was playing hologram, so he didn't have a lot of real people. I remember I did stab Chef in the face, 'cause he was the only person I could get. Uh, I was gonna get Pank, and somehow Pank died. I think he died to a Kelvin show, like the turn before I was gonna get him. But no, nothing overly strong. I tend to go after females if there are any around. Against Michael, I took out Garrick because Garrick has diplomacy by way of the treachery times two, and I knew that Michael was going to run into a faux pas, but not really. I mean, it's kind of just opportunity, right? You don't care if you can whoever it is. Typically, you need one, possibly two, depending on what planet mission you're going to solve. But yeah, like duck blinds or processing guys, like if you leave anybody out in the open, I'm gonna go stab them.
Nice. So are there any notable changes you made since the Masters event for this deck?
The draw deck I think I kept almost identical. It just seems to work with the personnel selection, and I know who to get on the first turn with the organ bank. Um, the Other than the two Q sense cards, I think the dilemma's probably changed a little bit. There's certainly leaning heavier into faux pas. KCA is in the mirror quadrant is generally a tough matchup for this because you don't want to be in the mirror quadrant. You want to be in the alpha or the delta. And faux pas is a dilemma that they just really struggle with. So if they're doing like the three homeworld build, you dead end one, you faux pas the other two, good luck. They're not gonna have enough time to get into those people that they need. Michael had a lot more females than I would have liked, but generally speaking, the deck with the Dyson sphere, you can always get a bailout. And if we get into the match by matches, you can I'll talk you through how that ended up happening in like I think almost every game.
Okay. Um, so yeah, let's go through them. Or did they pretty much did the deck pretty much play the same way through all the games?
No,
Oh,
my round one opponent is a local guy who we traveled with, Ben Dauber, and I told him when we sat down, I'm like, this is a nightmare matchup for my deck. He was playing the Sing refugee camp, so he has just like 20 females in his deck. Uh, and I had to use every trick I could to hold him from scoring any points, and his dilemmas were beating me up pretty bad too. I know that game went to time. I don't remember the exact score. I think maybe I'd solved two missions, but I didn't have enough organ theft points or something, or maybe I solved one and had some organ theft. But I mean, I threw the kitchen sink at him. He was dealing with scows, and he was dealing with two females left for those, and he was drilled down to faux pas, and he was working through that. And I think I had to disrupt continuum into a whale probe or a Cytherians or a something to just like shut him down because I could just not possibly hang with how many girls he had in that deck. I know he didn't finish very well in the tournament, but he and I had worked on decks leading up to it. I knew he was coming, and so he kind of knew what I was trying to do. Um, and he'll even say I'm being too generous, but first game of Worlds, you're nervous, you're afraid you're going to play wrong, and he's still just cracking jokes and super chill. So I was made me even more nervous. So I know that game went to time, and then I got immediately paired with the other local guy, James Heaney, which sucks because we play each other at Worlds every time. It seems like, and his deck I know doesn't have any girls. Somehow he avoided the planet dilemmas, the planet combos that had the matriarchals in there. And we spent all game just going back and forth. I think I solved the mission on my like second turn because he didn't have anybody on Nirvana Trap yet, and I blew through his space mission that stopped or was like trying to Nirvana Trap blow you up. Um, but I think I won that game 35-0. Like he was just a grind. He was shooting at me. I was, desperately pulling rabbits out of the hat with dilemmas. He's struggling to get the right skill matrices, two ships, and he's trying to fart through a space mission in overtime. And he finally just grabs everybody in bricks, and he forgot about disrupted continuum. So I just went and got whale probe and said, I have had enough of you. I actually said that like out loud. I said it very loudly. I was excited. I was like, I have had enough of you. And I threw down the whale probe, and he just started laughing. He's like, okay, yeah, I can't do shit.
yeah.
That was pretty cool. I put everybody on timeout, kind of a fun worlds moment. And then that's when for me I was kind of like this, these pairings are a little ridiculous. I know in retrospect that Maggie tends to just do whatever the system does. And I've now separated this from being mad at Maggie to, and I've talked to James. Somebody has to go look at that code because I correctly guessed who I was going to play round two, three, four, and five. And I shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
That tournament software, for whatever reason, has some type of familiarity bias, I think, because round three, there are three of us who were at 6 victory points. So two other players had two mod wins. And math said I was the highest of the three. And instead of playing either of them, it grabbed Michael, who was like halfway down the field of fives. And I just think that it just always is going to pair me with Michael if it can. It's again, feels like a tinfoil hat theory, but like it does that. I've run tournaments online and there'll be 12 of us in a tournament. Round one, it'll pair me with Michael. Like there's something in that software that I can't understand why, but it always does it. So, round three against Michael, honestly, I feel kind of bad. He noticed a deck mistake. I don't know if you talked to him about this or heard about
Yeah.
it, but like
We've talked about it. Yeah.
yeah, so he's got an error in his deck list. He doesn't have a home front. I think he didn't bring it or something. It wasn't like he just is an idiot because Michael's not. It was like
Yeah.
I don't know where this card is. And so he was trying to do a KCA deck again, like I said, with so I locked him down pretty hard with the female drain and the faux pas. That game was not very close. I think he could have solved a second mission kind of in garbage time, and I whale probed him just to shut him down.
Yeah.
Um,
And then it looks like we have a Delta Quadrant matchup with you and Justin. He had Herogen. Well, Deck Builder says it's Herogen, but it was Herogen holograms.
yeah, so Justin was playing the like I said, the hologram deck. I didn't know what was going on. He seeded his missions and they all had Vidian icons on them, and I like kind of laughed, and I was like, "If you're playing Vidian, you are absolutely fucked." And he he was like, "What?" Because I mean, Vidians have like four girls total. Like, there's no chance a Vidian deck is going to beat mine. That's intentional. I built it to win mirror matches. Um, but yeah, it turned out to be a know your enemy kind of weird. I didn't know what is going on. I think it was all space too, if I remember correctly. Very odd looking build. But he like YOLO'd into a self-seated Cytherians and then like was flying to my out. He stopped at my outpost and I was like, "The fuck are you doing? Like, do you not know what's going to happen right now?"
Hmm.
So yeah, I blew him up, and that was kind of the only real turning point of the game. It's like you can't I mean, I joke about it, but like if you put red meat in front of me, I'm going to go eat it. It's I'm not gonna let you just fly past me. It's not gonna happen. Let you pick up 15 point. No, you're not gonna get there unmolested. I'm sorry that I'm
Sorry, the turning point in the game was you completely obliterating his only ship and crew.
I think what actually happened was I like damaged it.
Okay.
Um and I think I clawed it. I think I clawed it, went in and stabbed Chef because I needed the points, and then I think he ripped the claw off because it was Cytherians. And then before I could get over there, he somehow like recovered them. But now he's way on the wrong side of the space line. He's still got to try to get back. And I think at that point I had already solved the mission and was headed to the Alpha Quadrant. I mean, it was just like a weird situation where trying to get those bonus points, I think, was not a good move on his part. But he seemed kind of on tilt the whole game. I don't know if I was just talking shit the whole time because I can never remember. I just always do it. I never shut up. It's just this constant
Mhm. Yeah.
brain diarrhea.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, so yeah, that game was not very close either, which was kind of surprising. I didn't feel like I had a lot of trouble with either Michael or Justin, and usually I do. So now I was sitting at what, 4-1. Um, and I ran into our local Cinderella, Charles. Charles, I think he was 5-0 at that time, all mod wins. That was another deck that I had helped work on. He's really got this Vulcan deck down to kind of a strong, not really two mission win, but very good at getting a lot of points from a couple of missions. I think that's what happened most of his games. I think he ran his totals up to 70, 80, 90 points, just couldn't close the door. That one's got Falter Pan, so when people die, they come back. He's got a duck blind he's trying to run. And in our game, I think his baseline was a little bad because Vulcan was like right in the middle. and his outpost or his duck line or something was like 2 or 3 missions away. So I changed gears in my first Q sent. I Q sent it for Kevin, and a Kevin Falter Pan immediately. There's none of that shit gonna happen. When I kill your people, they're dead. I penned him in kind of into his HQ with the Organ Bank. Instead of attempting with it, I was just like, I know that that ship's bigger than the Vulcan ships. And I think I ran down and stabbed a duck blind guy or something. But yeah, he was really flustered. He's not obviously not expecting to go 6-0, but he ran into somebody who's been at Worlds 50 times and this is his first World. So you can't really like fault him at all. It was I think I went first. I think I got a couple lucky selections. I know I used Change of Heart on him, which he was hoping it would hold me longer than it did. So yeah, again, hats off to Charles. Nothing bad to say about him. He was just, did really well for his first Worlds.
Yeah, and I'm thinking what you said. So you stabbed them with the organ bank, meaning you got the personnel and points, and
hmm
he got the personnel back with Falter Pond.
No, he
Everyone
didn't.
win.
No,
Oh,
he didn't. That's what I'm saying.
oh,
I Kevin Falter Pen immediately, and then
okay.
I went and I killed. I think I killed a girl. So he had found a matriarchal society, and he was like desperately trying to dig for girls. I don't know if I killed. Might have been T'Pol. I don't know. They've got some. They don't have very many, but they do have a couple. Might have been her or her mom. I know I stabbed. I think a girl.
Yeah. Anything else about day one before we get into your day two deck?
I mean the so I had teed this all up. Kind of the reasoning behind all of it was I knew that the gender drain stuff was pretty strong. I knew Disruptive Continuum was a really strong card. I felt like that deck would bend and not break, and that was exactly what happened at Worlds. It's going to give up points. Probably not going to let somebody beat you because you've got a lot of ways to get a mod win, and whether that's picking up the vase, picking up organ theft points, whatever. It's a 22 dilemma fortress, I think, or 21 when you get the save stranded crew free dilemma. But I had teed it up where WCT was all about aggro. Like I was a number 2 seed. I played aggro Borg. I don't need to do missions. I just need to stop you from doing missions. I played more aggro on day 2 or on day 1, kind of. I mean, my Vidian deck is kind of a mid-range, but it definitely can get in your face like it did. So day 2, I was like, no one's gonna expect me to play balls out speed. So that's what I teed it up. Again, I was just thinking like day 2 is a crapshoot, right? You're in a bracket, you don't know what other people are playing. Are they running the same decks? Are they not? I knew going in that I played Patty first, and I had really no idea what Patty was going to play. I had worked on this deck a lot, and I tend to, it's become a recurring theme, which sucks. I draw like shit at day 2 every single time I get to day 2. This is the deck out of all the decks I have that is the least shit draw effectiveness. I don't know what I'm even trying to say. Like that's why this deck has the ref tent in there. I can obelisk into a Masaka into a better hand. It's a tiny draw deck. It draws 6 cards a turn. But it's a house of cards. If I ran into an aggro deck on day 2, whether that was Kevin or Patty or whatever, yeah, it probably wasn't going to work. I was trying to throw the fastball instead of either of the other decks. This one's just 5 turn win. Bang. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good old TNG Federation solver.
Well, it's make a difference, which
Yeah,
is stupid because it draws cards. So like you look at all these people, they all have 4 dots. And if I play Demora Sulu, for example, I still get 2 draws. I draw from Continuing Mission and I draw from Make a Difference, which seems really dumb. And then I play Kivas, and now it's 5. I mean, Peter figured this out. Peter was like, it draws 6 a turn. Like, what are we even talking about? Without doing much of anything. And then I have the built-ins of Mordock. If you don't battle me, I have points to back up for Kirk. Kirk is a back is points. AMS is points. And then this specific deck self-seeds the Scytherians at either space mission that's closest to Scytherian Lure, which close is relative. It can be up to 13 range away, and I can still get there in 1 turn. So yeah, this deck picks up points from my own Scytherians, AMS, Kirk, Mordock, and the goal is it SCP drops on the second turn with hopefully, some of those good people you flew past, whether
Mm.
that's, Beverly Picard or Commander Data. All these other guys have a Jack Crusher. All these guys have AU icons so that they can STP drop.
Yeah, you've for a TNG for a modern TNG deck, you've got a pretty good amount of AU icons, and with that Future Enterprise and Wall of Ships, you're you're in good shape.
Yeah, the wall of ships. So I tend to just brick attempt on the future until I solve space with the backup of the flagship. Um, when I need ships, I usually would go get Galaxy instead of the other Enterprise. But yeah, in one game, I've a practice game, not at Worlds, but I needed Demora and wall of ships to make the future have 15 range. It's kind of
Nice.
ridiculous. 15 range ship that can cloak
And his Federation.
and is fed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm pretty much this deck did what you did what it was supposed to do. Just get personnel out, solve the two missions, and
It's what it's supposed to do. So
yeah,
Patty, I don't know if you watched that game. Patty and I played to a tie. Like nobody scored any points. We were just passing gold back and forth. Patty had all kinds of just junk, tribbles and Barclays transporter phobias and docking procedures. And he slowed me down to a crawl. And unfortunately for him, he was playing KCA, which same story. Like they just run into faux pas and fail. He hit dead end at his home world. His deck is just not built to really go quick. And unfortunately, at Worlds, where there's a lot of thinking, no one's stalling, but you're just like trying to remember what to do and work through it. I feel like our game only went like 7 or 8 turns, and yeah, we both had missions like cleared out, sort of, but couldn't solve. Like I think I was down to the last dilemma of a space mission, and I was missing a transporter skill that was like phobiaed and stuck on my outpost or something. He hit friendly fire. He hit the combo with no buffer time, which is an insane dilemma that nobody used at Worlds. I was really surprised. Um, so my combos for this specific deck are just slow you down. So it's like wall, buffer time, friendly fire, wall, buffer time, linguistic. I just want you to have to waste a couple of turns. The scows do the same thing, fart around and move scows around, dead end. Beige, I'm if a game goes more than 6 or 7 turns, like I don't expect to win because I should have won on 5. If I don't win in 5, something went sideways.
yeah. So is this a deck that you think you'd play again? At
Well, it's super funny. Because I didn't get to play it much at Worlds, I played it against Neil online in our What If final, and no surprise, the two things that you can't deal with, he blocks the STP drop, and then with temporal micro wormhole, and then he blew me up, and he beat the shit out of my people. It's like okay, like he crushed me in that game. I just finished running in the dojo gig because I was like I feel like this deck is good, but I don't know how good it is. It's not that good. Um,
Hmm.
against John blocked the SCP drop. John shot me with his Dominion people. John killed me with his Dominion people. And even against Michael, Michael in the final game blocked an SCP drop, shot me with a Valiant. I was like, fuck. Yeah, it's funny how you get a perception of a deck and you think it's really good because it does seem like it rips through dilemmas and fishbowl in games, but it's pretty fragile. So I don't know. I like it. It's fun. I think I already have all the achievements for it. And I'm probably gonna explore some other speed decks now. Just I really got it. Energized by looking at Ryan's deck, the movie fed deck. Michael was kind of playing that in this online event too. Those guys just seem better than the make a difference guys. And if you can generate points and block it in your homeworld, all that seems cool. So I at least want to look around at it.
Yeah. Um, Anything else before we end the recording?
No, I just again shout out to Maggie. She spent a lot of money. She catered a lot of food. If you went to Worlds and didn't chip in for food, I know Maggie doesn't need it, but it's also nice. Thank you. I sent her some money, and I want everybody to do that too. So, mad props to Maggie for running the show.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So thank you very much for doing this. To all those who are watching, the decks are listed below in the video description. And yeah, take care and thanks for watching.
Thanks for